For a while there, things looked really good on the energy front.
I always feared it was too good to be true. When the deal makers planned their coal and oil projects, they forgot about climate change or assumed it would only be a problem much later. Instead, because our exports were produced using fossil fuels, they became more expensive to cover the global carbon tax, so people stopped buying our goods. We couldn't sell our oil either, as many countries made a quick switch to electric and hybrid vehicles. Our manufacturing industries could not compete with the robotic factories abroad. We just hadn't kept up technologically. Many businesses shut down, many people were unemployed. Crime rose in the cities until we rarely left our neighborhoods because of fear. Then there was the weather.
Bad policy is ruining farms in our region.
It's more than policy. The climate itself has become an enemy. In the countryside, it was hard to know when to sow or when to reap. Should farmers plan for drought or floods? It was hard to know. The swings between extremes were becoming more and more violent. Pollution was also increasing, especially around the factories where waste was being pumped into groundwater and streams. By the time our children were ready for university, the digital economy was the main employer and dominated by the youth.
Seems our energy investments are paying off, with the digital world being a heavy user of power.
True, but the carbon tax is forcing other businesses to close. And what about all the money we borrowed to pay for our dirty energy? How can we pay that back? As for hydropower, climate change, deforestation, haphazard rain and silt have all reduced the power the dams gave us. Now we are dependent on Ethiopia's large dams for our electricity. That is very hard to handle. The international grid once brought the region together. Now we feel frustrated and resentful whenever the prices go up. A few days ago, I dug out my notes about small-scale distributed energy systems. Once, it was just an idea. Now, these systems are used worldwide. These energy systems would have created a more equitable society.
Are you sure you're not dreaming?
Perhaps I am. I hate the world around me. I hate being trapped in my middle-class neighborhood. I am surrounded by complacent people who believe they made their own success. I hate the bad policies, the energy systems we built in the 2020s, and the corruption we tolerated. We just got lucky in a rigged system. I've stopped arguing with my husband about this. We know each other too well now. My children, they mostly ignore me. Too comfortable to think deeply about anyone less fortunate. But I still whisper in the ears of my students. Resistance is an instinct that never goes away. One day, things will be forced to change because too many are suffering. Be ready for the next revolution.